There's nothing happening here. So I'm going to say not applicable. And then the scale. The scale is the period divided by 4. So 2 divided by 4, that means 1/2. So each of these little spaces is going to be 1/2. So I'm just going to kind of, I'm going to cheat here a little bit, not going to lie, and label every other one. So 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2, 5/2, 6, 7/2, 8, 9/2, 10, 11/2. Then I'm going to go the other way, doing the same thing. -1/2, skip. -3/2, skip. -5/2. Okay, time for me to graph the non-transformed function. The only thing that the transformed function, the only thing that this non-transformed one is going to have, it's going to show us amplitude and the reflection. It will not be shifted left or right. Okay, so cosine normally starts at 1. Well, our amplitude here is 4, so this one would start at 4. But we have a reflection. So this one's actually going to start at -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. Okay, now I'm going to come back to the midline and go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to the midline, then down 4, okay, now up again to the midline, up to 4, back to 0, down to -4, to 0, and you see the pattern. Okay, I take advantage of this pattern. Nobody wants to have to be doing this multiple times and counting all the time. So I use this pattern to make life much easier for me. Okay, again, I'm just bouncing between the amplitude and the midline. Okay, so now I'm going to connect these dots. Now I know that this is the side of where it had come up, so now this is going to curve down. And curve up, and curve down. Up, down. And you can see I came really close, but didn't quite hit that one. That's okay. Nobody's perfect. Okay, and this one was a little bit sharper than my others. Again, it's okay. As long as it's not a point, you're okay. All right? As long as it's smooth, you are in good shape. Okay, now I'm going to graph the transformed equation. So that means I'm going to move it left 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to start with this point here. It gets moved left 1/2. 1/2 is one space in this case, so point goes right there. This point goes right here. And the next one goes right here. This one comes over here. This one comes right here. So there are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points that I need. So now I'm just going to continue that pattern to make my graphs. Back here. So there are my points. Now I'm just going to connect these. Okay, so it looks like this graph is just shifted to the left just a little bit. Okay. Now, some of these guys get a little bit more complicated. Number 3 is not super duper complicated. Okay, but it is, enough to give us a little bit of practice here again. This one is actually just like number 1, so I'm not going to do number 3. Okay, what I want you to do is go to number 8. Okay, go to number 8. Now, there's a reason why I'm asking you to go to number 8. Okay. In number 8, there's a change. Okay, make that pi over 2. Okay. It changes how the graph looks just a little bit, but it's going to make things work out a whole lot easier for us. Okay, so looking at this problem, it has everything that we could possibly have on a test or a quiz question. Okay. It has the number in front of the sine or cosine. It's a negative, so it's going to have a reflection. There's a number in front of theta, so that we got to factor that out. Okay. There's something being added or subtracted, so there's a shift left or right. And then there's something on the outside being added or subtracted, so we're going to have a shift of that midline. Okay. So I'm going to add my scale here, my scale line, and let's have a go at it, shall we? All right, so amplitude. Okay, we know the amplitude in front of that is 3. Okay, that negative sign tells me I'm going to reflect. The P is the period. Oops, I forgot to do something. I forgot to factor out first. Thankfully, it does not impact the amplitude. So I'm going to take a 4 out of what's inside here. Okay, take a 4 away. That means that's just theta. Take a 4 away from here. Okay, when there's a number on the bottom and you factor a number out, that means you're actually going to multiply the bottom. So this becomes pi over 8. And then the plus 5 stays the same. So again, my new equation is -3 cosine 4 parentheses theta minus pi over 8 plus 5. Okay, now for the period, okay, the number in front of theta, okay, divided by, so it's 2 pi divided by the number in front of theta, which is 4. Okay, so that means my period is going to be pi over 2. All right, now phase shift, okay, that's left, right. That's minus, so I'm going to go right, and I'm going to go right, pi over 8. Don't let that odd fraction concern you, okay? The way we set this up is going to make it quite easy. Okay? Vertical shift, plus 5, so up 5. And now the scale, a little bit of an arithmetic challenge here for some folks, but as long as we're careful, we can handle it. So the scale is the period divided by 4. So that's the same as 1/2 divided by 4, or 0.5 divided by 4. And that turns into 1/8 pi, or pi over 8. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to label these pi over 8. Okay. So pi over 8. Skip 1, 3 pi over 8. Skip 1, 5 pi over 8. The reason I skip is so that I can write a little bit larger. Skip 1, 7 pi over 8. Skip 1, 9 pi over 8. Skip 1, 11 pi over 8. And then let's go back the other way here. So negative pi over 8. Skip 1, negative 3 pi over 8. Skip 1. Negative 5 pi over 8. Now, same as before, I'm going to graph the original. Okay? Cosine normally starts at 1. Okay? But because the amplitude is 3, it would start at 3. It is reflected because we have a negative sign. So instead of starting at positive 3, it's going to start at negative 3. So that's where I'm going to put my dot to start with. Okay? Now, because of how we set our scale, that means that I'm going to go up to the midline, and then up to 3 again. Then back to the midline, and down to 3. Now, as long as you follow my recommendations for the scale, all of this is going to be very easy. You're not going to have to worry about adding fractions, okay, or anything of that sort. Okay? So, and then I'm just going to continue this onto the left side of the graph so I can see it. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then I'm going to connect it. Now, I'm going to graph the transformed equation. Now, I said this was moved up 5. So this midline is going to be moved up 5 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to dash that in. It's going to make my life a little bit easier. I'm a visual learner, so I like that. Makes it easier for me. Now, each of my points are going to be shifted right pi over 8. Hey, look, there's pi over 8 right there. So it's shifted 1 space and then up 5. So right 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the next point over. Right 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next point, right 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost went off the graph there. A little bit of luck. Okay. Right 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By now, you can probably see the pattern, and you'll just continue, which is fine. I'm actually going to go to the next point and move it. So right 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I am going to take advantage of that pattern. Save me some time. Midline, top, midline, bottom, midline, top, midline. Going the other way now. Okay, so bottom, midline, top, midline, bottom, midline, top, midline. So now I'm just going to connect these. Okay, and there is our transformed graph. Okay, so you're welcome to go back and review this as often as you like. I hope you find it helpful. Have a great day.